that saw the realization of the West African Power Pool project. The electricity now you have between
You're talking about the Mount Coffee?
no, the first the West African
Okay.
Power Pool
Okay.
project, the WAP.
Yeah, what?
That's the connectivity of you now has the CLSG line, you know,
From
all
the
of this
Africa
from the
Coast.
Ivory Coast. So we follow up with all of the things we saw on the books. I mean, it's one thing to see the things on the book. There's another thing to follow it up to the letter. We did that and we signed for on behalf of Liberia $144.6 million that brought in the West African Power Pool project that started from Kantar.
That was in 2018 or 2019?
No, we signed this in
We started
2012.
2012.
So
when did we realize? When was it actual?
it was inaugurated in 2014, 2015.
Okay.
You know, when we had electricity at Logatuo border, I mean, Campley, when lights went on in Campley, you see electricity in Campley. I went to Campley and the people decorated me. That electricity came.
As a result of the electricity.
Yes, electricity came from Campley to Ganta. And everybody said Ganta is a city that never sleeps. It's 24-hour electricity. They were boasting. And I told people in Bon County that Bon County will receive electricity. People say I was trying to be political because I wanted to run for senator. I said, no, there's the reality. They got convinced when the substation was built right in Palala to Kauai Junction. And they started seeing the light poles coming to Banga. They said, oh, it could be true. Anyway, that's history. But that's the West African Power Pool. Another thing that we can remember is that we were there to push the MCC Compact eligibility, the Millennium Challenge Compact. At that time, we had signed the compact, and you have to pass every year. So for the 6 years we were in Washington, I passed the MCC. The record is there. And as a result of that, we were eligible for the $257 million that was given to Liberia for the Mount Coffee hydroelectric power rehabilitation.
How did you feel when you were advocating along with the government of Liberia then, and having this MCC Compact project realized?
It was amazing. I led challenges and I told President Sully then, Madam, send me. I'm going to do it. And so every day I saw it as my business to do that. Every day I saw it as my business to shuttle between the embassy. In fact, I hardly sat at that embassy. I was between State Department and the.
So you were just from air to air?
No, I mean the State Department in Washington.
Oh, in Washington,
I mean, moving from
talking
office
about going to
office.
Canada, going to this other places.
You know, there's something called, you know, in politics and in governance, in diplomacy, it's shuttle diplomacy. That is key. You have to move. You can't be stagnant. You have to move. You have to. If you don't know which door to knock, you will be knocking at the wrong door.
Ambassador Slonte, let me hold you there. How then did you navigate your way through as a can I say it's just our common way of saying Liberia as a native man coming from Swakoko and going to that level and navigating your way through to have some of these projects realized?
Well, you know, I really had some express interest in leadership. I started from Newport Junior High as president of the 7th grade class. I went BWI, I became president of the senior class. I went Cottington, I became president of the graduating class. So leadership has been there, and work and you know, my times at different ministries in Liberia created that capacity for me. Serve as Minister of Transport, serve as Minister of Post and Telecom, serve as Minister of Labor before going to Washington. So I was prepared. I had the negotiating skills.
You already had the connections.
Because, you know, I had the negotiating skills. It was only about going to connect.
Okay.
And when I was going, my dad told me, when you go, lift out your head. Don't bend your head down, lift up your head. So it's part of the diplomatic training. You have to know your target. You have to know what you're after, your goal, your value system, your foreign policy, your domestic policy,
Mm.
you know, all of these things, because you're going to push the interests of the country, not yourself. It's not about you, it's about the country and the
Did
government you represent.
did you have some hitches along the way in your engagements with your foreign
Well, there were
partners?
little challenges, but to be honest with you, I was blessed because of the name Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, first female president in Africa. That was like a trump card for me. Everywhere I went, when they announced the president, they announced the ambassador, excuse me, the ambassador from the Republic of Liberia. Everybody asked me, "How is Ellen?" You don't ask me, "How are you?" They ask
Mm.
me, "How is Ellen?" So I roll on that,
On her legacy.
on her legacy. She was a darling. So that helped me so much. There was little friction here and there, but I mean, it was not insurmountable. So we were able to thrive, and I'm happy. I'm happy we did that.
Do you feel pleased and with those engagements that you delved into and you got the greater results? Some of the results.
Oh
Do you
yeah.
see them visible currently in the history of
Oh
Liberia?
yes, definitely. I mean, you got electricity. The Mancoffey Hydro Plant was something. You got a West African Power Pool project. I mean, I escorted Michelle Obama here, and you know that she launched some program for girls education, and so there are a lot of things that are visible, and more than that, the friendship that we initiated in America have been paying back
Mm.
since I've been in private life. Got friends, got colleagues. In fact, that one of the things we'll talk about.
Yeah.
I got this Dr. Donsel Lee, who is the president of Tugolo College in Mississippi, will be visiting. He's invited by the University of Liberia, but he's my personal friend. Um, who is coming to attend the PhD launching program at the University of Liberia. From there on, he become my guest, and he going to Swakoko, by the way.
You're going to drink some palm wine.
I will take him to Swakoko. Hopefully, we can go on Honorable Paramount Chief of Bon County,
Wow.
Dr. Donsel Lee, President of Tugolo University.
But we will come to the visit of,
Okay.
of the president of that university
Mm.
in the US. But let's look at your consular connections. Talking about you were in between from three countries: Canada, Mexico, and the US. How did it all go? Did you set up some consular missions in those places through your
Oh
own
yes,
instrumentality as an
yes,
ambassador?
definitely. We were instrumental in establishing consular mission in Minnesota. Minnesota has a lot of Liberians, over 1,000 Liberians then. And when we did our cross check, we look at Los Angeles, California. We look at Minnesota. We look at um, Toronto, Canada. You know, we thought that it was necessary for them to have consular missions where they can do either visa or passport instead of everybody flying. Can you imagine somebody flying from California to Washington D.C. to do a fingerprint
Hmm.
because they need a Liberian passport?
Cost intensive.
Can you imagine somebody flying from Calgary in Canada to come to Washington D.C. or to New York to do a fingerprint? I mean, by the way, before you leave Canada to come to the US to do your fingerprint, what document do you have? What about our uh, colleagues, our citizens who went to Canada on refugee situation? I mean, they have not gotten their status. They still need their Liberian passport along with the landed immigrant document to move around. If you don't have a Liberian passport, and to get a Liberian passport, you have to come and fingerprint. So how does the guy leave from Ottawa or from Calgary or from Toronto to come to Washington to do the fingerprint? we felt we should take the service over to them, decentralized.
Decentralization.
So that's what we started, but it became political.
Who politicized it?
No,
And was it from the end of
today, and I don't want to be political today. I want to do education, but because you asked, I'm just mentioning that in passing.
Go.
But people felt that I wanted, I had my eyes set on being vice president of the country, so I wanted to have a good name. It's not about a good name. It's about those librarians sitting in Ottawa who needed to get their status. That's what we did. So we started that. There were 5 consular offices that were identified. Only one came to life, and the then vice president, who is now our president, His Excellency Joseph Yuma Boakai, I escorted him to Minnesota to inaugurate the consular office there, and it was doing well. But I understand, I think the last administration might have had some question on that. So I don't know the details.
So they are not working now? They are not active?
Don't ask me, because I'm not going to talk about that today. But I do know that we opened that consular office. Like I said, there might have been some question on that during the past administration. So I'm sure the foreign ministry will be looking into that.
Okay, that was when you were actively involved with the government policies by implementing them at the international scene. So now let's look at your contribution as a person, the contribution that you made so far, coming from Swakoko and coming to government. Let us just look into some of those places that you actually contributed in terms of bettering the lives of your citizens.
The main area that I have always had passion for is education. You know what, Melvin? Like I told you, I came from a humble beginning. Someone that did not have a school building around him. Someone that had to grow to be 8 years old before he could sit in kindergarten. Someone that had to walk 3 miles every day in the morning, 3 miles in the afternoon to go get education. I thought education would be my best bet. So since I've been knowing myself, since I got to have the opportunity to work wheresoever I was, either at Cottington as associate vice president for Cottington, or now as adjunct professor, I have always been in the corridor of education. Even when I served as cabinet minister under Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. For example, 2007 to 2010, I had 19 students on my scholarship at the University of Liberia. That was my way of giving back to them. That what I went through, you don't have to suffer like me. Not because I struggle to go to school. So the other people coming after me should struggle too. No. I had 19 students at the University of Liberia. Simultaneously, at the same period, I had 10 students on BWI. I supported 22 persons at the Cottington University College in Swakoko from 2011 to 2015. When I was in the realm of the Unity Party, there were 22 Unity partisans. The records are there, and they are listening to me. I supported at Cottington. I said, go and get the education. You don't have to have the same beginning like me. At the Bond Technical College, I've been supporting students there. I think 13 students from 2013 up to now. Some of them have graduated. But the biggest one for me, which is my trump card, and I bet anybody listening to this interview out there would be very proud to talk about it. So I'm not going to stop talking about it.
What is that?
I don't have a PhD. In my whole life, I earned 3 master's degrees, not a PhD. But where I stopped, I tried to push other people to pass there. So tried, while I was in Washington, I got in touch with this university. And I went to speak at the commencement for this university. And they gave me honorarium. You know, in the U.S., it's different. In the U.S., when you're speaking at schools, they give you honorarium. As compared to Liberia, when they ask you to be commencement speaker, they ask you to honorate the program. So I went to this university where I was commencement speaker, and interestingly, it was in Mississippi, and I did a background check on the relationship between Mississippi and Liberia.
Okay.
Melvin, I realized that some free slaves left from a town in Mississippi called Greenville, moved to Liberia and went to Sano County and established themselves in Sano County and brought the name Greenville with them, the town they live in, the city they live in Mississippi, that had the name Greenville, Sano County. And that was my commencement. That was the hallmark of my commencement speech. I was telling them the relationship between Liberia and Mississippi. And the American elderly shared tears of joy. So at the end of the day, they gave me an honorarium. I'm not going to call the name, but they gave me an envelope. And I asked the university president. And at the time, Dr. Lee, who is
coming here,
was the vice provost, the vice president for academic affairs. They give me the envelope. I said, I don't want this money. I said, can you convert this dollar into scholarship? I said, what do you mean, Jeremiah? I said, can we take this check back and you give me a scholarship? I want some young Liberians to drink out from the fountain of knowledge of your school. Say, you kidding me? Are you rejecting this check? I said, yes, I am. He said, sleep over here. Let's talk at breakfast tomorrow. Next morning, I insisted that I needed a scholarship. So long matter short, I got 2 scholarships.
For the Mississippi State University.
Yes, that was 2012. And I reported to my president, my boss. I said, Madam President, you sent me on a mission. I spoke, and I think I spoke well. And the compensation I got is in kind, which is a scholarship. She said, okay, look, you got a lot of young people here. Let's send some people to civil service. Let them take the civil service exam. Whosoever come out best, we send them. I hope Madam President is listening to me.
Former president
is listening to me. So I did. I sent 11 persons to civil service, all unity partisans. 2 came out outstanding, a boy and a girl. Victor Flomo and Maladan. Victor Flomo from Bon, Maladan from Nimba. They got the first scholarship. So 2013, they went to the US to do their. Mala was completing her BSc because she was a transfer student from Cotton, and Victor
graduated from Cotton,
and he went to do his master's. Today, Victor has earned his PhD. And by the way, Victor is coming along with Dr. Lee next week. Then later on, 2014, the senior school wrote me to go and speak at their multicultural program. And I spoke. And I told them, are you going to do the same thing? They said, no, you're pushing your luck too much, Jeremiah. I said, yes. I said, we'll not have a partnership. So, by the way, your students have done so well. We are proud of the Liberian students. I said, well, so can you take another 2? So in diplomacy, you're like an international beggar, but you push your point. You want your objective to be achieved.
It's not
no
about
matter what.
it's not about sleeping on the tea table, on the
no,
breakfast table.
no.
You need to open your eyes.
Open your eyes. Set your eyes on the goal. Go for it. Nothing is insurmountable. Go for it. Push it. They will push you around, but be consistent. The American man want you to look at them in the eyes and talk to them. Don't be scratching your head. Don't bend your head down. Look straight in their eyes and tell them this is what I want us to talk about. And so 2014, I got a second batch, another 2. So that's how we sent Jeremiah Nuatomu from Bong and Ngapi Gonompiu from Lofa. You see where we're coming from? So we sent 4 students to that university. All of them got master's degree.
At the same Mississippi State University or York University?
No, they started at Alcorn University and transferred to Mississippi State.
Okay.
Victor now earned his PhD. Jeremiah Noah told me is doing his dissertation now. So by December, he will be finishing his PhD as well. So, I mean, there's no way we can have an impact on the lives of the young people that we take and put under the table. This is purely academic. I say I was not going to be political here today.
Even though something like that will come, but it will be at the lighter meaning of the discussion.
Yeah,
because we want to know your stand.
yeah. So I wanted.
Once a politician, always a politician.
Yeah. So I wanted to, and you know the reason why I'm emphasizing this thing. I'm emphasizing this thing for the good of the younger generation. I wanted to see my storyline from a humble beginning to an obstinate diplomat. What has he done? What lesson can we learn from that? If the man does not have a PhD, but he's pushing people to get PhD, what kind of man is he? If you come from a background, a very poor background, and you don't even know how you're going to get your next meal, let's you talk about getting a PhD. So nothing is impossible. I want the young people to see this storyline, that the next one could just be you. You never know. When Victor was in Beaufort High School, Mala was at Methodist school, they never thought on going to America. They had never had that dream. They couldn't imagine it, but it came to pass. So the future is before you. You make the best of it. You have to have a determined mind. You have to follow other people, see other people's stories, and take their story as a mirror to see your future, to see yourself in it. Can I fit in this? Can I do the same thing?
Are you, Ambassador Slonte, do you see the interest in the young people these days in Liberia, that they are eager to grab some of these opportunities and forge ahead?
It's both yes and no.
How?
Melvin, even when I was serving as minister, I was teaching. I've been in the teaching field since 1989, March 1989. As a young graduate from Cottonwood, I was a teaching assistant. And then when I went to graduate school, I came back in 2002. I was teaching at Cottington before I got into government. I have been in the teaching field. Young Liberians are divided on their ego to learn and not to learn. You know why? The 1989 war brought a lot of damage to this country. Young Liberians now believe in fast money.
Instead of preparing themselves.
Instead of
going to school.
I always tell them, delayed gratification is better. Delayed gratification, sacrifice now for the future. So a yes and no is, there are few of them who are determined. They may not have the resources. That's why they will be pushing around, asking people to help them. But the bulk of them feel that The best way is to do it quick, get a quick money. So you saw most of them joining the rebel movement because that was the easiest way to go and harass people and get money. After that, now you had uh, a good number of our young people that were indoctrinated into weaponry by rebel leaders. Some of them was in sixth grade, in fourth grade when they took arms. They grew up in that with no other discipline, no formal education. The man grew up. Today he could be 32 years old. At the time he took arms, he was in grade 4. He had not tried to go back to school, so he's still in grade 4, even though he's 32 years old. He now has a girlfriend with 2 kids, so he ended up going to ride motorcycle because that's the easiest way. I'm not despising those who ride motorcycle. We got some very disciplined, very educated guys riding motorcycle. In fact, by the way, I gave out 11 motorcycles to people for work and pay. That's my way of empowering them. So I'm not despising the motorcyclists, but the bulk of them come from that category of young people who just feel they should get everything fast. Now the motorcycle thing is the best way to live. So you are 32 riding motorcycle for the next 7 years, you will be 39. By the time you're 45, you got spinal problem. If you have not gone to school, you have not learned any other skill, when you reach 50, you are almost useless, but you got no skill. So you got no other means of earning your living. You see the next generation that we're going to grapple with? And you, Melvin, and I will be responsible for them because government, you can see them in the street. There's no way that the government can go and collect all these Zogos, pack them in one truck and send them to Timbuktu and say, go live there. No, you can't do that. They are Liberians. Those of you who work and pay taxes to government, your tax dollar, part of it had to go to their welfare. They are all liabilities.
Is that embarrassing for the state?
It's embarrassing.
How then can we work around this and to have it?
Unless and until there is a constructed effort on the part of government, on the part of civil society, on the part of our partners to design means by which the people, even if the guy is on a motorcycle, is there a way that he can find some skill? Do we have programs for that? Are there NGOs or civil society organizations doing that to help government, because government can do it all? So that this guy will run his motorcycle from in the morning to around 5 o'clock, but then he be encouraged to go to some vocational training, even if it is 2 hours, because at that age, at that level, his concentration is making money. So you don't want to occupy his mind for more than 2 hours. So you want this guy to go learn something in 1.5 to 2 hours at most. So that when he retires at the age of 35, 40 from riding motorcycle, he can depend on that. Unless we do that, the Zogos, the other guys that are in the street, of course, you know the Bonnie, right?
Of course, yes. And
so how many Zogos who have a little 3-year-old child will want to take them to the kindergarten school and go back for them in the afternoon and make sure she has a bread and butter and a bottle of orange Fanta in the morning? How many Zogos thinking on that? But they are Bonnie. And those kids will grow up in the society where their parents live. And they will come out in the same fashion if we're not careful.
With no value addition.
No value addition. So, education has been my passion So since leaving government in 2017, I came back to the Cotton Graduate School where I teach. I joined professor in the School of
You are
Business.
currently teaching there.
I'm currently teaching at the Cotton Master Program in the School of Business and Public Administration. I teach taxation and budgeting. Teach human resources management. Then in the global School of Global Affairs and Policy, where they teach international relations and diplomacy.
Yeah.
I also teach there. I teach international political economy. At the same time, I also do a little part time with the Universal Library as Deputy Executive Director for the Center for Diaspora and Migration Studies. So I keep myself in academia. I keep myself in the classroom in academic work because as you teach, you also learn. So this is my way of contributing to the manpower development of Liberia. It's outside government. In 2017, I'm living a private life. The good about it, Melvin, is that I wake up when I want to.
Do you enjoy the private life than the government?
When you in government, I mean, you worry about being in office 8 o'clock. You got to leave your house 6:30, 7 o'clock. You got to beat the traffic. You got to be because you don't know. Those days when we were in high school, President Torba used to get out and go to any minister office anytime. So we come with that background. So when we were in government, we made sure we were in office because President Ellington Sali could come, just appear at your door. Besides that, early in the morning is when your brain is sharper. I mean, you have not taken your coffee yet. You have not had any long phone call from family members to bug you for. So that's when between that time and 10 o'clock, that's when you do your best bet. Some of your unfinished businesses from yesterday, you want to do that even before your secretary come in, before the special assistant and other people. So government job is demanding. The private job,
And it's also rewarding.
It's rewarding, but the private job, you do it at your own pace. At the graduate school, I teach from 3 o'clock, from 3 to 9 in the night, because most of the people we teach are big people. Government officials, bank officials, people who want to do their masters, and the master program is always in the evening. So I have the morning hour free. I don't rush to drink my coffee in the morning. I get up and go do my walk, come back and drink my coffee and relax. Then sometimes my driver come and he's sitting in the Palava hall sleeping. I say, man, we're not rushing. So that's the kind of life I've been living.
So let's look at the visit of Dr. Donzel Lee to the University of Liberia. How did it all go? How did it happen?
Well, as I told you, I'm connected with the University of Liberia. So I heard about this launching the PhD. The University of Liberia. I'm not a spokesperson, but the University of Liberia is launching this PhD program. So with my connection with them, I heard about that. I said, oh, wow. I talked to them about my dear friend, Dr. Lee. He said, oh, that's a professional. We're going to invite him to this program. And he got an invitation to come. So he arrived on the 18th. That's Tuesday. On the 19th, should be attending that program at the University of Liberia main campus. And after that, then I take hold of him. So after that, he will have some meeting with other universities. He will visit Cotton Graduate School. He will visit the University of Liberia Friendly Campus and interact with the deans and faculty members. He will meet with the Bishop of the Lutheran Church and Dr. Saki Manakwala. Dr. Saki Manakwala is one of those professionals. I'm sure he will be one of the pillars of education in Liberia. So Dr. Lee will be meeting with them. There have been other requests uh, for meeting with him. We are hoping that he can meet with the Bone Legislative Caucus and some key government officials. We are still in the negotiating stage. We hope that will come to pass because that's his dream to meet with some of the uh,
Is he
government officials
is
in
he
England.
intending? Has he spoken his mind that he wants to see the chief executive, the head of state?
Well, anybody who dream that dream.
Because what I'm asking Ambassador Slonde is that if a man of such will be coming to our country, he's a man with that prominence, and his visit will mean some great partnerships with our universities and colleges in Liberia,
Yeah.
with other universities out there in the U.S. So the president will be interested in having such a partnership. Where his Liberian people, the students of Liberia, will go out to exchange programs.
Well, we have not been able to secure that,
Okay.
but we hope that that could be a reality. I will be very happy if that happens, but we haven't secured anything in that light. But he has a lot of meeting lined up with different universities, different colleges, and then on Friday we take him to Bon County, where we will the family members of these students that he had taken to the U.S. would be appreciating him. Bon County, Bon County.
Where will that appreciation program take
Will be
place?
in Banga.
At the administration building?
At the administration building. Hopefully, it will be at the administration building where we can gown him, Honorable Paramount Chief, and appreciate him for what he had done, and then ask him to do more.
The way I was coming.
Oh, I mean, that's my diplomatic, trump card. Thank you for what you have done, but we know you can do more. The We have invited the students, the student community in Banga to come and witness this and be part of the history that one of their own, because Victor was a student leader in Bon. So the Bon County Student Union, Bonsu, is going to be very involved with this. So this is an educational program. That's why we want to leave politics out of the educational program.
Sure.
But we are invited the Bone Legislative Caucus. We have talked to some other key people, some of the senators that he could meet with while he's here. And you never know that his visit could culminate into memorandum of understanding where we could have student exchange, faculty exchange in the future. But that is something that can be crafted, giving the visit itself, giving the impression he himself will have, giving the opportunity, the environment that we will create for such discussions going forward.
Ambassador Slonte, with all of what you do for the people of Liberia, what are the worries? What do you get? Or what do you get from the outsiders, from those that are directly benefiting? No, they might not be the direct beneficiaries, but the Liberian society benefits wholly. What do you get from them?
Well, what I get is that if a student say, well, had it not been for Ambassador Solote, I won't be here. That's the consolation I get. That's the gratification I get. Somebody would say, yes.
Are you not being demotivated?
Well, you have to create yourself for the unforeseen. Because, Melvin, I'm sure you might have heard it. You might be hesitant to tell me that people say Jeremiah Sunday is me only because he has a master's degree in economics. So everybody who gets master's degree in economics is me. So that's the literal Liberian balance. That's the elementary meaning of somebody who does economics, especially with master's degree, 2 master's degree in economics. That man is me. Okay. That definition of
So when you hear the
me,
people say you me, what comes to your mind?
how can this person be me when he's the last child for his family, for his mother and father? He got no other brothers and sisters after him. But he's spending his earned money to send children to school. You see me? You see the man me? But he educating your children. Oh, because he's not buying, they have decorations to divide around. Even though I do that, July 26th, Christmas, I do that. But I don't find pride in that. If it is your school fees, I have to do that. But the thing is, unfortunately, most Liberians like the tangible. They want to touch, they want to feel. The education is intangible. You don't see it. So what by the way, cumulatively, I have supported 61 person that earn BSc. 61.
In Liberia.
In Liberia, but it's not visible. It's not something on the wall where you can go touch. So the man is mean, right? The man doesn't spend. Of course. If you ask me for $500, Melvin, I will ask you to do what with it. The man too technical. He want to know what you do. But you ask me for $500 per man, you have to tell me what you're doing with my $500. What impact is it going to make? I'm going to buy books. I'm going to buy uniform. Yes. So can you give me a budget? Let's discuss it. But the man hard to deal with. The man is me. I'm an economist. I analyze. I predict. I forecast. That's what you got your country going. Sound economists are the ones who plan for the future. They look at current day reality and take a percentage error of what's happening and predict what the future will be and advise you accordingly. You see what they mean? This is the man who will tell you get $5, eat $3, keep $2 for rainy day. Oh, because he's not spending everything right away, so he mean. Anyway, those are side talks. But I got my chest. I got a very wide chest when it comes to that.
To face the bullet. Okay, well, listeners, if you just joined us, you're listening to the Super Morning Show. My guest is former Ambassador Jeremiah Sislonte, and he's on the platform this morning. You can now have the time to interact with our guest on 0880-514-096, 0880-514-096, or 077-287-6481. Let's see if we can speak with this very first person. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
First of all, this is Lawrence from Fuya local candidate this morning.
Go ahead, Lawrence from Fuya.
Let me just appreciate the senior brother in studio, because anytime we used to hear those collect the former ambassador, if all the ambassador in this country do what Jeremiah Sunday is doing for the country, that will be the same. But man, the one you are doing, even if they say you help me, don't give up. We know that one day is one day God will reward you. Thank you so much, Melvin.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lawrence.
0880-514-096, 077-287-6481. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, this line is.
Yeah, I want to appreciate the former ambassador for so I'll talk this morning. Yeah, set it up. But the question to him, what does he have to say about all the educational system in this country right now?
Okay, thank you. Okay, Ambassador, you got him, right? What do you have to say about the current educational system in the country?
I didn't get his name, but
yeah,
it's okay.
Yeah, the line is distorted. Morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, please go ahead.
Okay, my name is Daniel Sopo, and I know Ambassador Slaughter very well. He spoke very well, and I love that. And like you just said, it's our tool to build the future of other people. That is very welcoming. And I just want to let you know that we can continue to do that, because educating our young people is a plus, and you have done well. So I appreciate you, Ambassador. Thank you.
Thank you.
0880514-096. Let's take it from here. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, caller. Good morning. Please go ahead.
Yeah, my name is Isaiah Tobacco from Benton Hospital.
Go ahead quickly.
I want to say thanks to your honorable student there for our ambassador Jeremiah Slaughter. Thank you so much for the effort and the assistance you are giving to the poor children in Liberia. I also want to say thank you. Just call to extend my thanks and gratitude. Thank you so much, Jeremiah.
Thank you, Isaac.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Yeah,
go ahead from Bone.
I want to say that
You say what?
I just want to say that
So he told you say you want to be senator?
Yeah, for my own our income for 2029.
Thank you.
I will thank you.
Thank you. Morning. Good morning. Oh, let me take it from this side. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, my name is Edwin Falanyuma, and I'm calling you from Foya Statutory District Education Chiefdom of Lofa County, district number 1.
Go ahead.
Thank you so much. Let me say a big thank you to my grandpa. Grandpa, hello, how you doing? The local way.
How are you?
Edwin Falanyuma from Fasi, I'm in Foya.
How are you,
I beg you, Papa. I beg you, Papa. Some of us came from the poor background. I beg you, please extend your helping hand, especially in Foya here. And I'm interested in education, but I don't have my way out. Please, I need your support, Daddy. That is my number. And beside me, you have so many youth in Foya here. You know, the civilization made us very, very late in Foya. Because whatever I'm saying is about Foya. Foya, we are the teaching people, and sometimes people say our tongue is very heavy when we are speaking English. We agree, but we need support. We want to go to school. Your youth are here.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you. I will take 2 more and go to Ambassador Slontek. Good morning. Oh, this person is off the line. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, good morning, brother. My name is Adam Visharit, and I'm joining you have station number 6.
Go ahead quickly.
Yeah, I just want to tell the ambassador thanks and appreciate the appreciation was for you, because you know in Liberia, not everything the people be happy with it. Even when you are saying this period today, people are there criticizing it, discussing all our things, even in our community, they're criticizing it. So for me, I just want to tell you to continue your hard work, and anything will come. People will criticize it, anyway they want to criticize it, but just keep what's going on. Because not only in one country alone you taking it from, you're doing the scholarship now from Bong, Lima, Bong, Lofa, and you're extending it to other countries. So I just want to tell you thank you again.
Thank you. Let me take the last person. Morning.
Yeah, good morning. This is Mario Fati. I'm speaking from Riverside County.
Quickly, let's hear you.
I want to thank the former ambassador for what he has done, because one of the best things to get of individual education. So he has educated more people, and I know other people will follow the footsteps to do the same. Thank you very much, Ambassador. God bless you.
Thank you. The last person. Morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Morning. Please go ahead quickly.
Yeah, my name is J. Joshua Ahmad Jr. I'm calling from the Fender University campus. I do appreciate the studio guys, the former ambassador, Mr. Jeremiah C. Solomte. I appreciate you, same brother. May God bless you. To continue. My wish is to see Jeremiah C. Solomte one of these days. Send any time, I'm waiting to see him. I really, really pray to see one of these days.
Thank you. Okay, Ambassador, you can just respond to the few concerns, then we'll let you go. Our next guest is up.
I think the 9 callers, most of them, it was just a matter of
commendations.
So I want to thank them. I want to thank them so much for listening, for following this broadcast. You know, I think there's only one person who, Edwin Falanyuma from Lofa, who said we should extend this to Foya. Well, Fala, we're not picking and choosing if and whenever opportunities arise, we will make sure that every area is incorporated in what we do. So let's keep the faith. The fellow from River says all of them, and the Joshua from Fender, we will get to see sometime soon. By the way, I should be coming on Fender with our guests sometime. If you are available, I'm sure we'll get to see. But I want to thank everybody for participating. Those who were not able to call, but following the program, we want to just tell them thank you. One thing I'd like to underscore, my parting comment. I think there was somebody who talked about the educational system. What do I say about the educational system? I know we're out of time.
Yeah, just speak to
But the educational system in Liberia had to be supported by government, by every partner, by ourselves. Because, Melvin, unfortunately, you have some schools where a high school graduate is teaching in the high school, where a BSc holder is teaching BSc. This is just unacceptable. You have the KRTTIs, the JRTTI, the Webo Training Institute. That is enough. But our locally trained teachers have to have some foreign training. That's where I come from. That's the gap. We have a big gap there. If everybody don't have to go to America. If we can find means for people to go to teacher training in Ghana, when you bring extra training from the outside of Liberia, it adds value. So we will be encouraging the Ministry of Education, the government, to start looking for local scholarships. Not everything has to be Europe or America, but send some of our younger people out there, 6 months, 1 year, to get outside training.
like in Sierra Leone, Ghana,
Sierra Leone,
Nigeria,
Ghana,
and other
Nigeria.
places.
Get outside teacher training, in-service training. The B or C certificate you awarding here during the summertime. Can we send them outside to get that outside training to add value? Because sustainable educational improvement in Liberia, it does not only depend on the local training. You need outside experience. They have to drink up the fountain of knowledge of the foreign experts.
Okay.
To enrich our educational system.
Ambassador Slonte, thank you so much.
Thank you so very much.
Have you hung your political jacket for now?
Well, I have been on leave. I'm still rejuvenating and reorganizing. But sometime soon we will see what else we can do.
Thank you so much. It was good having you this morning.
Thank you, Melvin. Thank you. It's a pleasure being here.
Well, he's former Ambassador Jeremiah C. Slonte. He's been my guest on the first leg of the Super Morning Show. Hope that you enjoyed the conversation with him this morning. My name is Melvin Stewart. I'll be back shortly with my next set of guests. They come from the Liberia Revenue Authority.
You are new as the mother of all nations. And